On the rocks, you go straight.
Neat.
Nice. This guy gets it.
What do you want?
Straight gin.
Wow.
Yeah. Preferably in like a dirty glass. Yep. And then I just pour in black pepper. And I call that the big sneeze.
Wow.
It's a good shot.
Look at this, Jackson.
Give it a try.
Refined as the day is long. Welcome, friends. It's Balloon Party. It's presented to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. That's Jackson Bennett Burkett. Jackson, what is the series of questions for Monday, June 10th, 2024?
The questions today, Tim, are Little Piddle's Weekend Watchtower. So it used to be the weekend wrap-up, but one of our cohorts on TMA, Doug Vaughn, he always gives me a little bit of guff.
He does give you guff.
About some of the questions I lay out, some of the things I do on this presentation. So in a way to combat that, I've kind of changed up the verbiage of what I do for the Monday presentation. So today is the Little Piddle's Weekend Watchtower, which also features the Little Piddle's observation deck.
Oh, an observation deck, too.
Yeah. So it's like a little something in there inside the watchtower. So we're watching out over the sporting world and then reporting back to you, the people.
Let's see. I'm protesting women's basketball over the Caitlin Clark snub. I'm sure Comrade Jackson is with me. Anyone else? That's from Dan Jansen. Bishing about sports is in the YouTube chat. So I sack highlights till about the third. What happened with that catch by Shepard? That's from Bishing about sports. Tim does look taller today. That's from Brad L. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to have a growth spurt. So maybe it's already started to set in. And breakfast burger and a big thing of fries and a Pepsi will get you feeling right. That's from DJ Patty Cakes. So the people are locked and loaded in the YouTube chat. We have the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. And Jackson, we're giving away tickets today?
We are, yes. Def Leppard tickets.
Def Leppard and Journey tickets. 101 ESPN has your chance to score a pair of tickets to see Def Leppard and Journey with Cheap Trick on July 6th. At Busch Stadium. Tickets are on sale now, or you can text 314-399-9646 to win free tickets to the show. Find all of the ticket details and a bonus chance to register to win free tickets to Def Leppard and Journey at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Jackson, how are we going to give away the tickets today?
Today, kind of changing it up, I'm going to be doing, I got a trivia question for the people. I got a trivia question that we'll do at the end of the third segment. So you've hammered first one in to get it correct. Will win the tickets.
So when is this taking place? Because this thing is well mapped out time-wise.
I know. At the end of the third segment.
So that'll be 10:49.
In that, 10:45 to 10:48 range is when I will ask the question, and then you just hammer in the responses. And I think it'll be fun.
I'd give my right arm to see Def Leppard. That's from John Scores.
Well, if you get the trivia question right and you're the first one to get it right, you can win yourself some ducats.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Did you catch that reference, by the way?
Give my left arm.
Right arm.
Right arm. No. Is that like a song? A Def Leppard song is about?
No, their drummer lost his arm.
Oh, that's tough. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, but he's still able to perform. How
That's
about
incredible.
that?
That's incredible.
All right, Jackson, what do we got on this Little Piddle's Weekend Watchtower with an overshoot?
Observation deck, but that comes later.
Oh.
Following the Cardinals splitting the series.
Oh, you're going Cardinals. I didn't know if you were going to go Battlehawks. I was intrigued.
I just don't know what's there on the Battlehawks thing.
Wow.
Like, I get...
We just had our first playoff game, football playoff game.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that right there? Sure, people are watching on YouTube. First playoff football game in 2 decades. And we're leading with the Cardinals and Rockies.
Right, and I get it. First playoff game, Torrey Holt was out there firing the people up. That was cool to see. But they lost, even though, I laid out a hell of a case that they should have won the ball game on Friday. That did not come out to fruition. But I told people, and I want...
Are you going to pay people's...
No, I'll pull the audio. I said, I am not saying that you should, this is like my 5-star luck. I'm just presenting a case. You do with it what you want. People out there, you are grown adults. You can make your own decisions. I can't do anything for you.
All you can do is advise.
All I can do is lay it out.
Like you were about to become a tout.
No, God, no. That's not what I do. not what I do. I'm not good enough gambling to do that, but I guess some touts aren't either. It's kind of the whole business model. Regardless, I just presented information, and clearly that information didn't work. I just don't, like, what is a question you can ask about the battle? Like, will the UFL...
Frick James has one. Jackson snubbing 34,000 fans in favor of this mid-ass baseball team. That's Frick James.
Okay. Well, okay, here's the question about the battle. Will the UFL survive?
My goodness.
Is there any other question? Like, do you want me to break down, like, the game planning?
I didn't like the play calling. I didn't like the game management.
Feel free to elaborate if you like.
I feel a moral obligation on behalf of the audience. It's kind of a meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Proletariat guy. And by the way, Jackson and I won't be here on Friday because I'm his guest and his member guest.
Pittlecock Hills Country Club.
This Friday. Were you watching the NBA Finals game 2, or were you watching the Battlehawks take on the San Antonio Brahmas?
As soon, like literally as the national anthem was going on, I switched to the NBA Finals, and you would have to pull it from my cold, dead hand to switch it to anything else. Sorry, that's just where my interest is, as is most of the country.
But we had our first home playoff game in 2 decades going on right here in downtown St. Louis. And I know you love the East Coast, and I know you love the West Coast. And I know you were able to go to Florida Gulf Coast University. Wouldn't we have all enjoyed the ability to go study golf at Florida Gulf Coast University?
Yeah.
But your hometown is St. Louis, Missouri. And the St. Louis Battlehawks were hosting a playoff game for the right to go to the UFL championship, which is going to be right here in St. Louis in 6 days, brother. Mm-hmm. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and then I watched about 18 minutes of whatever it was, and then as soon as NBA Finals coverage began, I watched that. And I had like friends who I also talked about, the wagering on the Battlehawks, like texting me like, man, what's going on? I was like, I am so detached at the moment.
So you give financial advice, and then when the stock tanks, you run for the hills.
I lay out a case, and then if someone wants to make the play, that is on them. But actually watching the game, no, I was watching hoops, and I have no qualms about that. There was nothing in my mind that was like, oh, should I switch over about? No. Sorry.
Are you going to be watching the Pirates and Cardinals? Or are you going to be watching the Oilers and Panthers?
Cardinals and Pirates. I think Michaelis versus Paul Skeens.
Livy Dunn?
Yeah, on Tuesday. See if this Cardinal lineup can hit that heat. We'll see.
Sounds like you're shorting that market as well.
I don't know. I can't really predict anything.
All right, fair enough. Well, now that I know when I'm talking Battlehawks, I'm essentially doing a monologue and not having a conversation.
I know they lost, and I saw the pregame stuff, which was legitimately awesome. Like having Torrey Holt back out there and getting the fans fired up was really cool. And it's cool to have playoff football, regardless of what the league is. Don't get me wrong, but my favorite sports league has their finals going on with my favorite player on the team. I'm going to be watching that, and I have no issues saying it.
All right, fair enough. DJ Pattycake says you're a disgrace, though.
That's fake. Listen, I've heard worse.
DJ Pattycakes. All right, Jackson. Here is if we are actually going to break down a portion of the game. I have to say that number one, they were outplayed clearly. Unfortunately, even though the Battlehawks beat San Antonio twice during the regular season, on this particular evening, San Antonio dominated the game, and the fact that the Battlehawks were even in the position to make that a game was kind of startling based on the way that San Antonio was able to run the football and also the pressure they were able to get on a very compromised A.J. McKernan. But with that established, I still was entertained by it and hopeful. But I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm breaking down UFL coaching decisions. It was just a little rough at times, and it was a reminder of why this is what it is versus that which we had for a number of years before the relocation to Los Angeles. So A.J. McKernan is on a terrible ankle. He's in a heap at the half, and they're running trick plays, throwing it to A.J. McKernan. Wow. With 8 seconds left in the first half, they've got him at their own, I think, 35-yard line, give or take a few yards, and he gets absolutely hammered by a couple of Brahmas defenders, and he's in a heap on the field. And clearly, Anthony Beck didn't want to go to the backup quarterback, and so that really exposed them. The going for 2 points as opposed to one to make it a 3-point game in the third quarter when they had closed in was very odd and surprising to me. And the time management at the end of the game was bizarro world because they needed 2 possessions and they had nothing. So to not just kick the field goal and then attempt a 4th and 12, which gets you the ball back if you convert it, by the way, in the UFL. So from that standpoint, it was disappointing both performance-wise and coaching-wise. Crowd was intense, no question about that. But it's a shame that we won't get the UFL championship game with the Battlehawks playing in it. We'll still get the UFL championship game, but we just won't have the Battlehawks playing it.
Ooh, what's that crowd going to look like on Sunday?
I think they'll give away a lot of tickets.
Yeah, somewhere in the teens, thousands-wise.
Oh, if you set the over-under at 13,000.
Yeah, let's say 13.5.
Now are we talking like... Because
it's tough. Yeah, because it's an announced attendance versus asses in the seats.
I might have to bet everything I have that it's the under.
Yeah, in terms of asses in the seats, I would take the under on 13.5. Tickets sold, I have no idea, honestly. But as in the seats, I would honestly maybe even take the under on 10,000.
All right. Well, it's great. You set the over under.
Right. Yeah, it's just Father's Day. Like people so.
What are you going to be watching? The U.S. Open or the UFL Championship game?
The U.S. Open. Without question. That wouldn't even come into mind. The Battlehawks are playing in it. Yeah. No, thank you.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry to Birmingham and San Antonio. It's just not for me.
Skip Holtz and Wade Phillips will remember that.
Football season starts in late August for me. That's just where I'm at.
Fight.
Tiger. Beat. Racer.
Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Fight Tiger and beat Ja Morant. Go fight, win.
M-I-Z.
Tiger. All right, Jackson. Fair enough. It's a gimme that it'll be under 13,000. That's from Bishop About Sports.
One would think.
Paid attendance will be pretty good. A lot of people have already bought tickets, but butts and seats won't be great. I think they have sold over 20,000. That's from Deep Voice Dude.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise. But now you're going to ask people to not go to a Battlehawks game. It's because it's no longer going to be the Battlehawks, and it's Father's Day. They might be like, it's Father's Day, I'm going to stay home with the family. And that's totally respectable. And the team that you root for isn't playing in it, so I don't blame you.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Jackson, we got this Little Piddles weekend watchtower. We'll get into the Cardinals and whatever other questions you have prepared for us here coming up. And we've got trivia for the Journey and Def Leppard ticket giveaway. Jackson told me what the question is, and I am truly curious. I'm not going to give it away, but I don't have the answer. I can't wait. To hear it. It's coming up at the end of segment 3 on Balloon Party. It's driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota is the presenting sponsor of Balloon Party on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. Go online at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com to work with the best. And the best is Munganess, St. Louis Acura. And Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. They have a special deal for our listeners. It's the TMA Loyal Listener Special, but we're going to carry over the TMA deal, the Balloon Party. Here it is. No money down. No money down. And you get, for $589 a month, a 2024 Acura MDX Premium. That's a brand new Acura MDX Premium with no money down and $589 a month when you let them know about the TMA Loyal Listener Special. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Just go shopping right now for that new Acura at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. Welcome back to Bloom Party, 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you on the program. Giving away Journey and Def Leppard tickets coming up at the end of segment 3. Jackson has the Little Piddles Trivia Hour.
That's right.
And I like the question, and I don't know the answer to the question, and I can't wait to hear the answer to the question. You get to participate coming up at about 10:48 here on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. Hey, little announcement here, Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Riz of the Rizzuto Show and myself have a new show that we are debuting. It is a video program, YouTube show called Stupiracy, Stupid History and Conspiracy Theory. We shot 12 episodes of it, and it's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen and Evergreen Wealth Strategies, and we are having a sneak preview party for it, Riz and myself, at Hot Shots in Fenton next Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and the show will debut on YouTube on June 24th. So 2 weeks from today, Stupid History and Conspiracy Theories. I learned quite a bit, and you will as well. Riz is a great guy. It was fun to do a show with him. 12 episodes. Season 1 of Stupiracy, and you get a sneak preview of episode 1 at Hot Shots in Fenton a week from Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Riz and I will be there. Hot Shots in Fenton, the Yankee Stadium of Hot Shots.
Indeed. Yeah, very excited to hear this.
Yeah.
I've seen you go to record these episodes for a few months now. And
yeah, we did them back in March, April, and May.
yeah, so very excited to hear the finished product because I know the set is outstanding, the production.
Those video guys, they're wizards is what they are. I tell you. They're wizards.
For real.
So they did a hell of a job. You can see the trailer for it at youtube.com/TMASTL. Jackson, we are now back with the Little Piddles Weekend Watchtower?
Yep. What cannot be ignored in the Cardinals is the Cardinals' low attendance on Saturday. Once again, breaking records. Have yet to go back to 2003 when there were less fans at a Saturday game for the Cardinals. What could be some of the main contributing factors in terms of Saturday's game to keep fans away from the ball yard?
What? I didn't follow the last part.
What are some of the contributing factors, the main contributing factors, in terms of Saturday's game that kept fans away from the ballpark?
You know me, I'm not flippant.
No, not usually.
Thank you. But the team is boring and bad, so I mean,
Been bad and boring teams before, though.
this has never been like this. With you're on the heels of a last place finish. Last time they were last place was 1990, so this ballpark was not even close to being around yet. But what do you think? I mean, you must think there must be something other than that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have asked the question. So I'm going to yield my time to the gentleman from Horton Watkins.
Well, I think that there can't be one definitive answer of, yes, the main issue is that the team is not good. The team is at best mediocre at this moment. So I think that's your overarching issue. You know, that's in bold font.
Then what are your...
But then you have to go also to a lot of other factors because bad teams can still get decent attendance.
So I'm asking you, what are these factors? I'm really curious what you think.
So I think one thing, and a major thing, is it's more and more expensive to go to the ballpark. Not because
I agree with that. I think that's astute, sir.
Right. Not because I'm saying that the ballpark is price gouging people, but the cost of everything else in life is also going up.
And the cost of things surrounding going to the ballpark.
Whether it be parking, whether it be concessions, whether it be what have you. There's a lot of things that contribute into it being very expensive. And when everything else is very expensive, your budget for leisurely time might go down. You might find better value in your leisure time than watching a mediocre baseball team where you're paying a lot of money to park, eat. You kids want to merchandise. It's tough. There's also the thing where it's harder and harder to watch the game. So your day-by-day interest isn't necessarily there. If you watch the team for a week straight on television, you might be like, oh, I have a chance to go to the game? That sounds pretty good. You know, this sounds interesting. But less people are watching it because it's harder to access it.
And so they had an announced crowd, and this is the tickets purchased of what, 34,000? Was that the number? Either way, it's the lowest Saturday crowd in the history of Busch Stadium 3.
Right.
So you have that, and they have a bunch of the lowest crowd numbers in the 2023 and mostly in the 2024 season. People are not showing up. When you see pictures of Busch Stadium or you're watching the game, you see how empty it is. It was 34,577 down the block. A couple of blocks to the west, you had City taking on Portland, and they had 22,000.
Right, which is filling up their stadium. Yeah. And then you look at what about the weather? Well, it was raining that morning, but it was nice by game time. It was nice by the time the game started. So you can't really blame the weather. I just think that people are finding better things to do with their time and not necessarily going to go see a team that's mediocre. Also, the Rockies don't get people going. Right. If this was a weekend series against the Red Sox, the Cubs, Yankees, maybe it's a different story, but the Rockies are no damn good. They got nobody on their team that's going to get the people out and come into the games. And the Cardinals certainly don't have a lot that's going to get you really locked in and fired up. I mean, that's the case.
I challenge you on cost. I thought the same thing, but I just bought field box tickets for tomorrow night for $15 a piece. I think we've come full circle. I've never seen tickets this low. That's from the 618.
Good observation. Yeah. Very fair observation. I think my overarching point on cost is that everything else is expensive in this world. Like it's pricey. So your budget for leisure activities, for stuff that's fun for the whole family, probably goes down a little bit. And if that's the case, and it's not just the tickets, even if you buy it on a third-party site, there's fees involved with the tickets, there's parking cost of concessions. It's all in all together, it's more expensive now, and considering where everything else is price-wise, you might be like, if someone's got to go, if I got to give the axe to something, it might be Cardinal games, especially if you're paying an exorbitant amount to even watch them on television because you can't get them to your normal provider.
See, I think that this is something that has been, the chickens are coming home to roost.
Right.
Because there are a number of contributing factors. And if we were to really delve into it, this started well before the team was bad and boring. It started with the pandemic, I believe, not because of the actual pandemic itself, but I think people realized, I don't mind having 7 to 10 o'clock free. I don't necessarily miss baseball as much as I thought I would when we didn't have it. In addition to that, so that kind of laid some of the seeds. In addition to that, then you have what has become, when I was at a thing outside on Saturday afternoon, and I walked by and I'm just like, the Cardinal game is on. Yep. How nice is that?
Right.
There are a lot of people who I know for those of you who get the Cardinal game, you might feel like we're talking about, it's a problem. Mm-hmm. So that's been going on for a number of years. The chickens are coming home to roost. Well before the pandemic and the television issues, there has been a sense locally that the Cardinals do just enough to get in, but don't go all in. And that frustrates people, even though up until last year, you had a sustained amount of success with regard to competitive seasons going back to 2000. So there already were issues percolating in the fan base. Then you have a last place finish. Then you follow it up with, the offseason was, I continued to say throughout I don't know how many times I said it, man. If we did 100 shows in the offseason, I must have said 75% of the time, I get what the Cardinals are doing. I don't think they're going to be great, but it might be good enough to win the Central because the Central's terrible. Mm-hmm. But the fan base is going, you're like talking about this off season like it was this great victory tour. You signed Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. Don't get me wrong, got Sonny Gray, great signing, but Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, then what else did you do? Why are we celebrating this? And you're celebrating it so much that you're saying we're in great shape, so we're going to extend the manager? And people are confused by it. So when you throw all of those factors in, I think that leads to the gradual decline as far as specifically Saturday afternoon bad and boring baseball teams. But what has caused this to be a record-setting year from a negative standpoint from the Cardinals with regard to attendance, a lot of these seeds are finally growing, and the seeds have been growing for the last number of years.
Yep. And, obviously, first week of summer, maybe people are out doing stuff vacation-wise up at the lake. Who knows what they're doing? But in years previous, it's not like summer vacation was just invented. People have always gone on trips. The attendance has never been this low on a Saturday. So, there's so many contributing factors. And like you're saying, chickens coming home to roost. This has been a long time coming in a way, and now we're finally seeing it. It's also convenient that, like, for the first time ever, we haven't had one of these stalwarts who's been with the team forever, whether it be Yachty, Waino, Albert. We just don't have any of those guys. The guy on that is Matt Carpenter, and he plays once, twice a week. It's just not the same.
No.
You don't have the legends. You're not going to see Waino pitch or hang out. It's just not what it is.
Your thoughts on why the attendance was as bad as it was and continues to be as bad as it was, in addition to anything we've already talked about. I mean, obviously, we've talked about a wide variety of circumstances. People talk about crime downtown. That comes up.
Sure.
314-399-9646. And then also, the YouTube chat is very active on this topic. It is 10:32 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. We'll take a commercial break. Coming back, we will have Jackson's trivia question at the end of segment 3, which will, if you get the answer right,
first person to get the answer right,
gets the Journey and Def Leppard tickets.
Yep.
So we're going to get you ready, and then it's coming your way at about 10:48.
Yep. Be ready.
Here you go. This is Balloon Party 101 ESPN.
This is Action Jackson with a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals win yesterday, final score of 5-1 as they split the series with the Rockies over the weekend. Off day today, the Cardinals will take on the Pirates tomorrow evening in St. Louis. And last night in the NBA, the Celtics take Game 2, 105-98. They have a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Mavericks as the series heads to Dallas on Wednesday. That was another Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Welcome back. Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you on the program. Jackson's about to ask a trivia question to give away Journey and Def Leppard tickets at the end of this segment. I can't wait to hear the answer to it. So the first one to text in at 314-399-9646 wins the tickets.
With the correct criteria of answer. There's a little, I'll explain it. It'll be...
All right, we're about 6-7 minutes away, so get ready. Be standing by.
Yep.
314-399-9646. Mount Rushmore of your favorite Journey and Def Leppard songs.
Don't Stop Believin'.
Sopranos, 17 years ago today.
And I think that's the end of the songs I know by those two bands.
Pour Some Sugar on Me, 1988.
I know that song. Okay, so that's number 2. I don't know if I know any other ones.
Animal?
Don't know it. I know the song by Martin Garrix called Animals. My EDM heads out there will know.
Your first dance at your wedding was Open Arms, right?
No, I had a guy dressed up as Ed Sheeran sing Perfect. And it was super cool because he played it on a banjo.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. That was kind of like hipster.
Yeah.
So like that was like a way of being like, I'm using a pop artist, Ed Sheeran.
Right, guy dressed up as
Yeah.
Well,
and even though I know that my buddies, Private Citizen Pete, Herb, and Oatmeal, will give me trouble for using Ed Sheeran, I'll have the Ed Sheeran lookalike perform it on a banjo as a tribute to Steve Martin, and then that will make it a little less quiche.
Well, it was in between that or a Temptations cover band that came in from Arkansas.
Ooh,
and so their van broke down, so I was like, oh, option 2, which was someone doing Your Song by Elton John, but on the harmonica exclusively.
And this is a Temptations cover band that did Your Song by Elton John?
No, their Arkansas van, they broke down on the way up, so I had to think quickly. So I was like, all right, who can play Your Song by Elton John on the harmonica?
So who did that?
No one could, so I got the Ed Sheeran guy. He may have been
He did that as well.
He may have been homeless. He may have not have been. I don't know. But he did a great cover. And, yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was Open Arms. No. Either way, Jackson's Mount Rushmore has been released. Def Leppard is on my bucket list. I need to go. That's from Tiny Peepee. Maybe he...
If you get the trivia question right, this is very objective here. I'm not, whoever gets it first.
This isn't like, was that a missed call on P.J. Washington last night?
No. You can't put your hand there, Jaylen Brown, but also it's a tough call to make in that situation, not to mention the Mavericks were hitting the free throws.
That's subjective. Jackson's answer is objective. It's coming your way here in about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, what's your next question on the Little Piddles Weekend Watchtower?
Your P.J. Washington question was great. Looking at 2 finals going on right now, what did you make of Florida coming out of the gates hot at home?
Boo hiss, I say. Boo
and winning
hiss.
3-0. Do you think the Oilers are bringing it back strong tonight for Game 2? How about the Celtics taking a 2-0 lead over with an abysmal shooting performance in Game 2? Which series do you think is more likely to go 7 games? And in general, is it pretty cool to see all 4 teams featured in these finals have young superstars, and a good sign for things to come for both sports?
I mean, the answer is it's not fair because the math is not the same, and the math is material to our conversation. If one series is 1-0 and the other is 2-0, then therefore it would be irresponsible for me to say I think the Celtics and Mavericks is going to go longer than...
I hear what you're saying there.
You see what I'm saying?
But the Panthers did come out rock solid in Game 1. More rock solid than I think the Celtics came out.
You know what they're doing? And I know you observed this because you and Jamie Rivers were doing a little breakdown of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're forechecking the MF and hell out of the oil.
Forecheck, baby.
Is that the name of your podcast?
Forechecking baby. Yeah. It's me and Rivers. But it's like AI, Jamie. And so he just responds with, boy, that's good stuff right there, Piddles. And it's about 38 minutes of that.
You have 38 minutes of hockey content?
Yeah. We're debuting episode 1 behind like Long John Silver's in Crystal City.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So it's Oppo programming on your release date.
Oh, I see. It's counter-programming Steperis?
Yes.
God, I didn't know you were
So if you're more into me and AI, Jamie Rivers, behind that dumpster in Long John Silver's.
Forechecking, baby.
Forechecking, comma, baby. And then season 2 will be called Forechecking, comma, baby, reloaded.
I would have to think it's going to... I also am biased. I hope the Celtics win, and I hope the Oilers win. So that's where I am here. Mm-hmm. But even if that doesn't work out that way, then that means Matthew Tkachuk's got himself a chalice. And, I mean, what a big year for Chaminade. What was that class of 2016?
Yeah.
My goodness. Has that happened before? You know, my wife, in a kind of a startling moment, was engaged in a conversation that I would more or less have more often with you.
Right.
In which I go, boy, how about Chaminade? I mean, you could have Tatum win the finals and Tkachuk, and I go, and they were in the same class. She goes, really?
Yep.
Has that ever happened before? And I'm like, oh my God.
I don't know if
she's interested in this random thought I'm having. It has to have happened.
The thing, like
Wyndham Clark and Christian McCaffrey went to the same school, didn't they?
That sounds
I realize
right.
that's an individual sport, and McCaffrey hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. But
with the advent of like schools like IMG Academy that are like built to create young superstars in sports, it feels like something there. But like just like a local high school. Did Ben Bishop ever win a title?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe him and David Lee in the same year, but I don't think so.
David Lee would definitely be older than Ben Bishop.
Right. That's what I was thinking. So I can't think. I can think of stuff where like two guys from the same high school like played on the same team and won a championship, but I can't think of two different sports, same class, same high school. That's got to be unbelievably rare. But the thing with hockey is like if you're a really good hockey player, you don't necessarily go to the high school. You're in Canada playing.
You're right
juniors. That's what's so like Trent Frederick, friend of mine, went to Smet, but kind of.
So I think I would think the more likely one would be baseball and football. Somewhere in the South.
Yeah, I mean, you had the thing where like Max Fried,
Benjamin Hockman just texted me. I bet he's got an answer.
Giolito and Flaherty all went to the same high school.
He's got one for me.
Oh, okay.
But that's all he wrote.
Oh, this would actually be a good trivia question. This is actually a better trivia question than the one I've come up with.
I like yours. All right, well, we'll find out what Hockman has. And then we have the text inbox. Let's see if we got Matt Stafford, Clayton Kershaw.
Good call. But, I mean, Stafford won a championship. Oh, well, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's why doesn't this work? This works. What's wrong?
I don't know if they're the same class.
Okay. I thought that if they were the same class.
But Kershaw, 2020 Dodgers.
Kershaw and Stafford.
Okay, 2020 Dodgers, but then the Rams didn't win the Super Bowl until 22.
So same year, same class, same high school.
Right. I don't know if there is.
That's what I'm saying.
This is not the trivia question, by the way.
All right. We'll dig into this. And by dig into it, I means I'll type it in Google. And if I don't
hope someone texts us the answer.
That's exactly right. Jackson, it's time now for the trivia question.
All right.
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear what the answer is.
So the trivia question for today is what is, in the United States, the most watched interview in television broadcast history? In the United States. The answer...
This is before I release...
Yeah, this is
the interview with Pat Marone and David Freese.
Yes, and pre-Forecheck Baby with me and Jamie Rivers.
AI Jamie Rivers.
The most watched TV broadcasted interview of all time in the U.S. I need the subject of the interview and the year within a 2-year range. So, for example, subject, and then if the interview took place in 2016, which it didn't, so that's a hint.
Oh, wow, Jackson, there.
It did not. But if you said interview subject 2017, 2016, or 2015, I'll give you the answer. So I need it on a year on each side.
I got it.
So most watched television broadcast interview, subject and year.
All right, text it in. 314-399-9646. Is this a sports?
No.
Oh, wow.
That's another hint.
Okay.
Not sports.
All right.
Someone's got an answer already. And
it's already in there, so you can give the answer?
Yeah, I guess I can give the answer.
Okay.
The answer, well, hold on,
I
because
was going to fire a bullet, but it looks like I'm seeing something that's getting asked over and over again.
I have the correct answer
I
in
was
there.
going to go with Mike Wallace and the Ayatollah.
That's a fair one, but it is not.
But it's not right
That
because
is
I'm
not
seeing
right.
this over and over again.
Right, there is.
And there was a film based on it?
Nope.
So it's not the one that I'm seeing over and
Not
over
that
again.
one either.
Okay, so what do we got?
So the person already texted in. I'm going to make sure our wonderful executive producer, Mike Ryder, probably right now is checking to see if that person is eligible. Because if they are, they'll win. But if they're not eligible, I don't want to say the answer,
okay.
and then they'll muddle it all up.
No, somebody has already written you.
All right,
one.
the answer is Michael Jackson with Oprah Winfrey in 1993.
Wow.
62.3 million viewers. Michael Jackson, Oprah Winfrey in 1993.
Really?
Yep. Monica Lewinsky and Barbara Walters is 2. Yeah, that was in 99. And then Frost, Nixon, the David Frost, Richard Nixon.
Got a lot of
interviews.
those sent in.
1977, that's 3rd.
Wow.
Yep. Michael Jackson also returns with him and Lisa Marie Presley on Diane Sawyer in 95.
God, they were passionately in love.
Yeah. But the answer is Michael Jackson's interview with Oprah Winfrey. The person has already won. So
How about
shout out to
that?
the 217.
The 217, Quincy.
Might be Quincy.
Springfield,
yeah, what up,
Champaign?
Hawks? What up, Quincy Hawks?
All right, Jackson with.
It was fun, man.
Hold on, they're saying in the YouTube chat that's not accurate.
I'm reading it right here. Most watched television interviews in U.S. broadcast history. Don't know what to tell you. I have a list up here.
Tiny Peepee says, "Where's my Def Leppard tickets?"
Sorry, unless you're the person who texted it in, then you didn't get them. Not much I can do on that.
Well, there it is. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep.
I really am surprised on that. All right, congratulations to the 217. You have won the tickets to Def Leppard and Journey. Those tickets are available for you on sale now. And you can also go to the 101ESPN.com website or 101 mobile app to win free tickets for a bonus chance. So go register for that. It is 10:50 in St. Louis. We'll come back with the final segment of Bloom Party here on 101 ESPN. James Carlton, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. My insurance agent has been for 5 years. He was actually here at the station today to help out with my car and the hail damage we got about 15 days ago in that big hailstorm in the St. Louis metropolitan area. And here is James Carlton working with State Farm to make sure everything is taken care of. And you go, well, that's what he does. You do spots for him. He takes care of you. Nah. Nah. This is the kind of service James and his staff provide to everyone. And that is why I'm such a happy client and why I recommend James and his staff to you. And you're probably saying, I don't really want to switch insurance agents. They're all the same. And I understand that. And I used to think the same thing. And then I made the switch to James Carlton, and I would never go back. That's how impressed I am, because I know if something comes up, like the hailstorm 15 days ago, something that used to be like, oh, no, I got to deal with this now. Go. I know that James and his staff will take care of it. I don't even have to worry about it. That is peace of mind. That's what James provides. 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. Welcome back, Balloon Party 101 ESPN. I'm screaming for some reason. Why am I doing that?
The music was really loud. That's my fault.
I understand that. Was it really?
Well,
you're just taking one for the team.
Yeah. Whatever gets everyone home comfortably.
Oh, look at
I
this
don't know
guy.
what that really means.
I don't either.
I'm losing steam left and right here.
What's
too.
wrong, baby?
I don't know.
What's wrong?
I don't feel like I have it today.
Really? Are you that upset about the Battlehawks loss?
Oh, yes. That's good. That's a good choice. Yes, I'm despondent.
It's going to be okay.
I'm despondent.
All right, Jackson, what's next on the Little Piddles Weekend Watchtower?
Yeah, given the timing here at 10:56, I'm going to...
you gonna force the metal bat thing in?
That's right. Observation deck.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back tomorrow at 10. This is now Jackson Burkett's, what is it called? Forecheck Baby?
Forecheck Baby, AI, Jamie Rivers, many other guests. Maybe real, maybe not.
Guess.
Maybe Patrick Waugh will join.
MD 2020 says, let's nail this last segment, boys. I can already tell you we're not nailing anything.
I disagree. I hard disagree. I just feel, and this is the observation deck, so there's no real question. It's just me talking. The observation deck is, as I was watching a little bit of the College World Series last night, Clemson and Florida, good game, really good catch there and by the center fielder. That was awesome. But I just can't help but think I would be more into college baseball in the College World Series, which is cool if they were using wooden bats instead of metal bats. Something about the sound of a metal bat, it feels amateur to me. Crack of the wood bat feels like real professional baseball, and I understand they're kids, and I know the cost associated with wood bats is much higher than metal bats because you have to reuse them a bunch. But I just feel like I would be more inclined to watch if they were using wooden bats. And that's the observation deck. And I don't know if people agree or disagree with that, or they just don't simply care.
I think it's the latter.
But college baseball teams aren't necessarily turning a profit, hence why they have to use metal bats because you can use the same bat throughout all of college. But I feel like maybe you would get some more people if they had that crack of the bat. Plus, MLB scouts, watch a guy, he's ripping it with a metal bat. Then you see with a wood bat, he can't do diddly.
When you deep teased this on TMA this morning, I was really surprised.
I thought it was I was watching it and I was like, man, I really like the wood. But you know me, I'm about the details, the Rose Bowl and the sunset. Like, I'm into the details of the sports.
Bazooka Tooth 75 says you still have 3 minutes to go. You still have 3 minutes to. This is like the Saturday Night Live skit with the Bush Dukakis debates.
Right. Well, I'll field any questions.
Jackson will take questions. We'll do QFTA here.
Yeah, I'll field for like a minute or two. Like, anyone has a question, I'll answer it. I just felt like the metal bats thing. I don't know. You ever heard of
This is the observation deck. This isn't the watchtower.
You hear the pop of it, and it's like, ugh, it's like clunky and nasty. Well, you hear the crack of a wood bat, you're like, oh, summer. You sniff it in.
Jackson, coming up on Forecheck, please. Will you have Cole Kmet as a guest, but you met Cale Makar?
That'd be a great get. I get them both on.
At the same time.
Right.
And you would ask Cale Makar questions that are geared for a tight end.
Yeah.
With
Cale, how do you feel about, the differences in run
Cale
blocking?
Williams, is it going to be confusing for you, Cale?
Right. Cale Makar.
That'll be so good.
Right.
What do you think?
You guys,
Jamie Rivers will do.
Yeah, like we call him, hey, CM, get open. I'm CW. But those are flip-flop. Boy, that could get really tough.
Somebody just sent in a screenshot, thanks, Dad, as a matter of fact, of Tatum and Kachuk on a bus together.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I've never seen that picture. Mm-hmm. You have seen that picture.
Yeah, I was the same age as those guys when that picture was taken.
Is that right?
We're all the same age, yeah. Tatum's like 10 days older than me.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And you beat him.
I was on the team that beat him, yes. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They would have played with 4 on the floor instead of putting me out there.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah, my team's on the floor.
My team's on the floor. All right, fair enough. I think Notre Dame and Harvard's baseball teams can afford wooden bats. That's from the 3-1-4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pony up.
Disagree. I coach college summer team that is wood bat. Hitting is atrocious. That's not going to attract the new this new Fortnite kid. That's from the 636.
Fair enough. Hey, listen, I just threw it out there. If people want to disagree, that's cool. I want people to disagree. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, you have a lot of choices in there.
That's the cost is the reason. Wood bats are cheaper, but you have to replace them.
Let's see. What hurt more, getting bullied as a youngster on the mean streets of Clayton, getting hit by a wooden bat or an aluminum bat? That's from Bazooka Tooth 75.
I don't know if I didn't play baseball enough to really wear a bunch of pitches. I kind of realized that, like, once I hit, like, what I felt was the best hit of my life, and it didn't even get over the left fielder's head. Oh, no. I was like, yeah, this sport, probably not for me.
You're going to focus on hoops and beating Jason Tatum.
That's where I was born gifted at that, not at baseball.
All right, well, we got to go. I wanted to kind of dig in on this aluminum bat, wooden bat thing, but we'll carry it over to tomorrow. Jackson, BK, and Ferrari are up next, but it won't be BK because he was on with Randy Carricker this morning.
No, it'll be Tanner, it'll be Alex Ferrario, and it'll be Good Morning Grant.
All right,
I like that group.
That's coming up from 11 to 2. Then you have the Fast Lane, and I guess Jamie Rivers will
the real
preview the new show, Forecheck, Please.
No, the actual human Jamie Rivers has nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, I don't know if he's aware of it. But AI Jamie Rivers is
he's going to be on Forecheck, Please.
Yeah, he just can't wait.
All right, time for us to shut it down. This has been Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, on 101 ESPN, the 101 ESPN YouTube channel.